Tracey Leonard, like an All Ireland final, how excited are you? And then the prospect of facing such a dominant team as well. Like, are you buzzing for this?
Yeah, it's huge. Look, these days don't come around too often, All Ireland final days. So I think while you're in them, you have to make the most of them. And I suppose Galway haven't been there in quite a while, so this is extra special. But I think we're just focusing on a next game and a next performance, and that will have to be one hell of a performance, I think, because it is All Ireland final day at the end of it.
Do you think that the level you reached against Mayo is that the sort of form that you're happy with going into a final against someone as good as the Dublin?
Um, yeah, I would be happy. But I do think it probably will have to go up another notch on Sunday from playing Dublin previously. They bring a lot of speed and physicality to the game, and it'll definitely have to raise the level, I think, come Sunday.
And it's 2004, I think, since Galway last won in All Ireland. Is much expectation at home?
Yeah, there is. I suppose, as I said, 2004 is a long time away. For Galway to get there was huge, and I suppose to get over that is another. It's going to be another factor. But I think we're zoning in on 60 minutes that's ahead of us now on Sunday, and it's very much kind of playing in the now, and hopefully the rest will take care of itself.
How many years have you been on the panel?
I think this is my eighth, if not ninth year. So it's probably, while I'm probably one of the maybe longest players around, but with young players coming in there that it's great to see young ones coming behind you.
And when you look at the dominance of the Cork team in the past, and now Dublin looks like a new superpower, are there ever times where you're like, God, will I ever get this All Ireland?
And I was here last year looking at the final, and to be fair to both teams, they put on a fine spectacle of ladies football, and they have risen the standard for ladies football, and it's up to other teams to get there, and I think the competition is coming a long way. We had a lot of battles, I think 3 times this year with Mayo, which they're showing that they're a great side as well coming there. So we're here on Sunday now, and I suppose we'll just hopefully bring a performance that'll maybe take care of itself.
What was the last couple of minutes against Mayo like? Because it was frenetic on the sideline, very little in it, and it was just kind of a scramble around the goals.
I think it was definitely easier playing than watch from the sideline, but I suppose it's one performance that we definitely, as a team, we grinded out a result, and I suppose we haven't done that in years gone by. And I think our consistency and performance is one aspect that really stood out to us all year this year. As in, it's something that has got us over the line in games, and definitely got us over the line there in the semi-final. And it's one that we definitely need on Sunday, is a consistent performance. And I suppose that's all we can look at after. I suppose is our work rate and our attitude that we bring here on Sunday.
There's been a lot of talk about the size of the crowds that have been at some of the finals in recent years. Is the prospect of a massive crowd, does that excite you here at Croke Park?
It does, but I don't think it's going. Well, I suppose it'll be your 16th player and that. But I think us as players, we need to perform here on Sunday. So it's going to be about our attitude. And once we hit this field on Sunday, while there's going to be a great crowd there to support us, it's a game of football at the end of the day, and we just have to concentrate on that.
I suppose when you did your cruciate a couple of years ago now, that was 2016, was it? Like, how tough a period was it going through that? Because it's just probably a world away from getting to an All-Ireland final at that point.
Yeah, look, it was tough going through it, there's no doubt about that. But it's one of these injuries that, when you do, it definitely has mentally, it has improved my mental attitude, I suppose, no end. And it's one I look back at, and it's probably a big, I suppose, a big learning curve for me. And I suppose as a player, mentally it has improved me as a player. So it's, I suppose, if you look back in 2016 and said you were going to be in an All-Ireland final in 3 years' time, I would have taken that. Injuries, look, in any injury in any life, it takes, I suppose, a lot of work rate in that, and I suppose it's great to be back in an All-Ireland final. It's something you aspire to as a young girl growing up, so it's great to be there.
So, but how testing is it? Like, what was the lowest point, we'll say, you got to during that period?
I suppose it was a low point. It did hit a low point at one stage, I suppose, and it did involve me getting, I suppose, work with a sports psychologist, and it's great to be surrounded by such great professionals, I suppose, and then you have strength and conditioning coaches and physios and that in the background. But I think huge credit probably goes to my family. I suppose in particular mum, I suppose she put up with a lot of stuff from me, not being in the best form and that, because it's hard to come from being addicted to something that that's your life. You're going training a few nights a week to a different side of life. I suppose that you're in the gym, but I suppose my motto going through it was like, it's done now. There's nothing I can do about it, nothing I can change. So I suppose you do the work, and I suppose you get on with it. You can't be going around having no sympathy for yourself. It's one that you have to just pick up and I suppose drive on.
And what was the turning point? I suppose obviously you're on the other side of it now, so things have clearly improved. You're in All Ireland final, but what was the point where you're like, this has gone too far mentally? It's taken too much out of me during that injury.
It probably was, I suppose, initially the period straight after surgery where you can't. There's not a lot you can do, and the big aspect for me, I suppose, was when you're out in a pitch and you're doing sprints and you're sweating and you're breathless. There wasn't a lot of that straight after surgery. Your rehab was a bit monotonous, but it was stuff that had to be done. I suppose when you get onto your 3 and your 6 month marker, and when you're actually doing tests that you can see improvements in, I think that kind of drives you on, and you set little mini goals that by 6 months I want to have so much this done, and then when I suppose you can see yourself doing straight line running and all that, all them little improvements, I suppose. And when you're out in the field, I suppose, with teammates, and they're on a different side of the pitch and you're on one side of the pitch, and when they're full of encouragement, it's teammates and coaches, I suppose, that drive you on, that pick you up when you are down that low.
Well, delighted you're back out anyway, and best of luck in the final.
Thanks very much.